A Qantas Boeing 707 arrives in Sydney, bringing Mrs. Magda Bradley and her 3 children back to Australia. The state government paid the fares to enable Mrs. Bradley to appear as a defence witness at her husband's trial. About 200 people at Kingsford Smith Airport see Mrs. Bradley, wearing an orange dress and carrying a fur cape, walk to the customs house, accompanied by her children, Robert, Helen and Peter. 6 uniformed police are present to clear a path for the Bradleys as they make their way to the state government car, which drove them off to their city hotel. Later, she spent 2 hours with her husband's counsel, the public defender, Mr. Vizard. Mrs. Bradley saw her husband in Long Bay Jail for the first time since his arrest in Colombo. The trial begins amid scenes of unprecedented public interest. Only 110 seats are available in Darlinghurst Court, and the public galleries have to be closed. Detective Sergeants Bateman and Doyle will be 2 principal Crown witnesses as Stephen Leslie Bradley goes on trial for murder. The giant radio telescope at Woomera tunes into the moon, waiting to catch a conversation from America. Scientists in California shoot their voices to the moon, and they're bounced back to Woomera, where the Minister of Supply, Mr. Hume, is waiting to conduct a 2-way conversation over the 455,000-mile space circuit. International conversation via the moon.
Hello, Australia. As you know, I am speaking via the moon from NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, Goldstone Tracking Station in California. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you clearly. There is very little difference between this moon circuit and a normal overseas telephone circuit. I feel this is a good example of the truly international nature of science at its best.
At sea off the Australian coastline, it's smooth sailing aboard the 42,000-ton liner Oriana. She's been called the new Queen of the Seas, so the crew makes sure everything is shipshape for the royal welcome that awaits her. She's on course for Sydney, and a seagull's eye view of her bow shows her speed. The Oriana is the biggest passenger ship built in Britain since the Queen Elizabeth, and she's the last word when it comes to luxury. While drinks are served to passengers in comfortable lounges, there are plenty of other pastimes, like table tennis. Stabilizers keep the big liner steady, and that helps to make the deck sports easier too. And to cool off, you can take your choice of 3 swimming pools on the great new liner. It's really seagoing luxury aboard this ship. Even the crew have a swimming pool of their own. Oriana, with a full load of passengers, has made her maiden voyage to Australia in record time, completing the 12,000-mile voyage in 26 days. And there's no doubt about it, this is the life. But Sydney is approaching, and the big ship enters the harbour to the toots and hails of a fleet of small craft. The gleaming 15 million pound ship becomes the first to use the new overseas passenger terminal in Sydney Cove. Sleek and powerful, the Oriana provides a new sea link with Britain and really proves herself to be the new Queen of the Seas. The school holiday Learn to Swim campaign gets some star pupils. Australia's own Sarah Quads. And swimming lessons start with a splash for Mark, Alison, Judy and Philip. If they get that sinking feeling at first, they don't show it, as instructress Heather Pulley teaches them the right way to keep afloat. The Quads were raised in the country and hadn't been in the water much until the family moved to Sydney. They turned 10 last August and decided they'd learn along with their schoolmates this Christmas. Mrs. Betty Sarah is keeping a watchful eye on them, and the Quads are getting a big kick out of it. They might even be Australia's relay team at the '68 Olympics.
Boytown, Engadine, is appealing for funds to build a dining hall and kitchen. This is Ziggy, a new arrival, wondering what the place is like. Father Chanter, the director, tells him, reassures him, makes him feel at home. Other boys come and meet him, help to carry his bags. They're walking down towards the old dining shed. Here's the mob in general study. Brother Cantamessa at the board. The boys are addressed as gentlemen. Struth. What's this gadget? Father Cooper shows him. Oh, looks all right. Hope it doesn't blow up or something. Ah, Tucker. Making rock cakes and bread rolls to feed the hungry mob for this sort of thing. Brother Sweeney in command of gymnastics. Ziggy's invited to have a go. Let's see what he can do. Wow! You beauty. Hello, what's this for? Baseball. Mob of characters dressed up as Yanks. Oh, well, have a go, Ziggy. Good on you, you beauty. Baseball's hot work. All into the swimming pool. The boys and staff are proud of their swimming pool. They'll own it when somebody gives them the money to pay for it. And now into the chapel. Ziggy's not too happy here, all this singing business. Have a deco at my book, mate, you'll soon catch on. Father Chanter delivers a little lecture on the necessity for politeness in daily life, and Ziggy feels at home.
More dangerous than surfing, twice as many people are getting dumped these days at Merrimack, 4 miles inland from Surfers Paradise. Trick riders don't have to worry because their nags are trained. The others aren't. No use holding on to your hat. It's gone. And he needs both hands for the reins, even if he is a champion rough rider. The gates open again, but this pair don't get far. Here at the first National Rodeo, the Outback's best-known rough riders are competing for Australian honours. You don't get anything for going over the fence, so hold on, sport. Just to make things tough for the entrants, the organisers have brought along Australia's champion buck jumper. Lean and scraggy, he's named Sugar, and he's anything but sweet-tempered. The crowd gets set for more thrills as the steers stampede out into the arena. One down and more to go. He might make a tender T-bone, but he's awfully tough on the rump. Yes, it's just as well they're holding the National Rodeo so close to Surfers Paradise. Even if they can't swim, some of these rough riders would take up anything after this.
Australia met Fiji in the second rugby union test at Sydney Cricket Ground with a crowd of nearly 21,000 to see the visitors in attacking mood. The Fijians, beaten in the first test, seemed determined to make it 1-1, and Australia was in trouble right from the kick-off. There's a near thing early in the game when Joe Lavula got the ball from a ruck and kicked downfield. Fullback Phelps chased the ball, caught it, and kicked for touch just in time. A scrum, and Australia won the ball. It flashed out along the three-quarters, and Queenslander Bob Potter set sail for the line. But the Fijian defenders swarmed around him and brought him crashing after a couple of near misses. Despite Australia's superiority in the scrums, Fiji got the ball this time. Nuka Balabu sent a pass to 5/8 Bose, who made ground, then sent to Lavula, and on to fast-running forward Johnny Nabu, who outpaced the Australians to dive over and put the visitors in front. Fiji is right on top at the moment, and from a line-out, the ball went loose behind Australia's goal line. It was bad play by Australia, but Razau dives on the ball to score Fiji's second try. And at half-time, Australia was trailing by 9 points to 11. But then the Fijians wilted. The Australian backline burst into action. Potter broke away, passed to Lyle, then to Elwood, who ran over to put Australia in front. Only a few minutes of play left, and Cleary made a brilliant solo run which left the defence standing. Australia has won 2014 to clinch the Ashes.
The Australian titles at the Valley Pool, Brisbane, and Dawn Fraser streaks away to an early lead. Dawn's in the centre, and right from the start of this 100 metres freestyle event, she outpaces Ilse Conrads and sets sail for her 5th national sprint title. Just watch this turn. The experts say she missed it slightly and that the error robbed her of another world record. But with the first 50 metres behind her in 28 seconds and her opponents making no impression, Dawn's going to win by a great space, record or no record. Past the 75 metres mark, thrashing her way to victory in Queensland record time and the second fastest time in her own record-smashing career. It's Dawn Fraser all the way, and though she glides into touch, she's less than a second outside her own world time. The Olympic gold medalist has done it again. And Ilse Conrads is first to congratulate her on a magnificent swim.
We'd like you to accept this small memento of your wonderful tour in Australia. I'd like you to accept this memento on behalf of Boytown, and we hope it brings you many happy memories of a wonderful tour.
Well, thank you very much, Boytown. We've had some very marvellous presents on various stages of this tour. I think this one really takes the cake, simply because it provides the West Indian people with the opportunity of seeing and getting a very comprehensive report of the testimony. We're very much indebted to you. I'm sure it'll be greatly appreciated by them.
Frank, we know your thoughts on the members of the Australian cricket team that you've played against here, but what do you feel about the players that have been selected for the forthcoming English tour, the new players?
Well, I think you've got a subtle blend of experience and youth, and with the knowledge that will come from chaps like Harvey and Benno and will be passed on to the youngsters. I think you've got chaps like Lowry, Booth, Jarman, Mackenzie. I think this team will do very, very well, provided you get a good summer in England, and there's every possibility, under dry conditions, that you could quite easily come back with the Ashes.
Sydney's trams, with a history going back 100 years, have almost disappeared. Many of the lines have already been ripped up, and the buses have taken over more and more routes. So before the last tram journey, let's turn back the clock to these models of 1879 and the steam trams, which a great many more of us can remember. This one is the last from the Cogra run. A sad day for the locals, some of whom presented bouquets to the driver, or the stoker, or whatever they called him. It was a bit difficult to tell a tram from a train in those days, the same kind of smokestack with the same dirty black smoke. Yes, despite the Ban the Tram Menace committees, the tram was here to stay, but not the steam tram. It lost a race with a newfangled electric model and out it went. In its heyday, Sydney's tram service boasted more than 800 cars. And it isn't many years since Railway Square near Central Station was absolutely alive with them. These, of course, are the new shiny corridor types, the last word in passenger comfort. But if you were lucky or unlucky, there was still a chance to catch one of the toast rack variety, introduced in 1908. But now it's goodbye to trams of every kind. This is the last tram on the last route in Sydney. In fact, because so many people want to ride in the last tram, there are actually 3 of them from the city to La Perouse. So let her rip, driver. The buses are anxious to take over, and if you don't hurry, there'll be gangs along to rip up the lines. And for the passengers, it's a one-way trip to La Perouse and then back to the depot at Randwick. For Sydney's trams and for tramway enthusiasts, this is the end of the line. After almost 100 years, the city's public road transport is completely motorized.